everybody. Welcome to the Thursday Night Forum. This is Arsenal Fan Circle. You're all welcome. Pull up a chair here. We'll have a little bit of fun tonight. Listen, there's been a lot of crazy things going on this bank of midweek games, book of fixtures. Listen, there's been a lot of crazy things. Liverpool dropping 2 points. Very, very welcome to us. So we'll start nibbling away at that 9-point gap, and now it's down to 7. A 3-3 draw. Very, very good. Arsenal mastering and going beyond the dark arts, right? The people are going to latch on to what we're doing with corners. We're not doing anything more than anyone else. But the biggest thing,
did
Tony,
you see the one?
1 second.
Oh, okay.
You missed. I have my little line here. But the craziest thing this midweek is Tony has reached the summit. He's reached the top of the mountain, Gary. He's reached the top of K2 Mount Everest, and by some way, shape, or form, he's picked an upset pick, and he's at the half century right now, Gary.
And that's without four less picks, and most people, I know you've missed 2. I missed 4 picks that I haven't gotten in. But 1, I had all 3 games picked. The 3 I was undecided. But
you picked 1, Tony. This is how it works. You pick 1. I think you get confused.
I told you I was at pick one of those. I scrolled up to the previous week's thing instead of when I finally made my final pick on a Friday. Yeah. My
you know what that's called? Pick. You know what that's called, Tony? It's the history of the Tony. The history of the Tottenham. It's the DNA of the Tony.
I'm just ready for you to give me some like 3 Salhurst points and bump me up to like 60. Where I should be at right now.
Yeah, I was gonna go to Gary first, but Tony, you just attract so much news to yourself,
Yeah.
Gary, how are you?
Am I allowed to speak, or do I need to wait?
I better check with your compatriot there.
Are you good, Tony?
Yeah, it's okay for you to go, young Padawan.
Sorry for me to chat. All right. Thanks, Tony, for letting me chat. Yeah, I'm doing good. Yeah.
As Steven said, Gary, this was a pretty good week. 2 big wins from Arsenal. Liverpool, yes. Liverpool dropping points. And we told you, right? We told you, everybody out there watching, we told you this was not over. The league is a long and winding road. There's, 24 more games to go. Liverpool dropping points and Tottenham imploding again. I think that's 1 win and 6 for that lot down the road, Gary.
Yep. It's been, as you said, it's been good. Yeah, it's but you know what? The only thing that really matters is what?
Us.
You just got to win the next game. That's all. Because there's nothing we can do right now unless we win games. So for me, let's just win these games, and then we will we'll see how it goes at the end of the day here. Because it's gonna.
Has to be.
It's a slow road.
Yeah, look, it is a slow road, right? Trying to gain that credibility of winning a Premier League title for the first time in 20 seasons.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be 21 next season. So too long for Arsenal to win the big prizes. We need to sit at that table with the Champions League people as well. And it's the journey we're on, and we hope that the journey and our journey leads to trophies. It's been too long. It's been 5 seasons, right, since we had that FA Cup. So time to do it. Time to lay our cards on the table. As Steven said, it has to be soul destroying to be a Tottenham fan. I think that cycle is coming close to an end, maybe with Ange Postecoglou, but it is just the most vociferous side of their fan base, Gary.
He's doing fine. I like where he's at. I enjoyed seeing. No, he's doing fine.
The highs are good.
Why would we want to break that up? I mean, that little. relationship up. Let it keep going.
Let it keep going. Exactly. Good evening, everyone. BX Gunners in the house. Hawkwind has joined us. Morning,
Hello,
everybody. And
everybody in the chat. Yes.
Tiger and Gunner, listen, come on in, warm your hands at the fire of a glow of an Arsenal win over Manchester United.
Since you said fire and glow, can I share my holiday thing here?
I think you're too big to get on that thing. That's like getting on the dog. You know, when you were a kid, you're riding on the dog. You know what I mean?
That's a pretty damn big deer, especially reindeer.
The deer didn't ask for you to do that.
We'll see what I come up with next.
Did you hear the deer say, "Jump on board, Tony"?
He said, "All aboard," like a train conductor.
Tiger and Gunnar, thanks for being here. Hawkwind and Bilal Ahmad is here. Manchester United fan, it looks like. Are you guys American? Well, yeah. Gary, you were born in England, but you've been living here for most of your life.
Yeah.
Come on. You're lying. I'm the only American.
You're the only native. You're the only native, Tony.
I've lived here more than I've lived in England, so so there you go.
How was your Thanksgiving, Gary?
It was relaxing, cool. Just chilled out. Didn't really do much. Ate, of course, but it was good. Just chilled out.
Yeah. My turkey was slightly overdone. I had too much food before, and felt like it passed me by. Right, the turkey just passed me by.
Turkey's always overdone unless you fry the fucking thing. Fried turkey's the way to go.
All right, Tony. We had some drama this midweek, right? Notable results. The first one, Newcastle, 3-3 with Liverpool. What are your thoughts on that game?
Newcastle is one of those teams you don't know what you're gonna get. It's definitely Forrest Gump's box of chocolate because you really don't know what you're gonna get. They might come out and look like a top 4 fighting team, or they might look like a real.
I think your audio is glitching a little bit.
It's making a noise every time you say something. I don't know what you're doing, but yeah.
I'll figure it out. But.
Yeah. Listen, Newcastle. I felt confident that Newcastle. They got the result. They got a draw at Crystal Palace, and they come back and need to get something against Liverpool. The urgency was there with Newcastle. Well, Tony's figuring that out. Gary, what were your thoughts? It was one of those.
I already figured it out, so I can get in there before Gary.
It was one of those games for the neutral, wasn't it? Tony?
Yeah. Is it fixed or is it still making weird? I said, is it fixed now?
Yeah, it sounds much better.
You said you fixed it. Why are you asking us if it's fixed?
Because I just hit my button. It doesn't mean it worked because I haven't talked yet.
That's so Gary. Tony. It's the button. Doesn't mean it worked. He wakes up, but it doesn't mean it works. Gary.
Yeah.
Can you hear me? Because I can't see myself right now. I don't know what's up with this thing.
We can hear you.
I can't see you, bro.
Camera's frozen. There you go. Yeah. Tony goes to the bathroom, but we don't know if it works or not.
Can we do some breaking news, Ray?
Yeah.
I'm on my iPad. Do you notice something different about me being on my iPad?
You look more handsome.
I'm not upside down, Ray.
You're not upside down either. That's true. You're more handsome and not upside down. Right?
Yay.
All right. Gary, what are your thoughts on the Liverpool game?
I was a little surprised that they wouldn't, everybody said, are they going to drop points? I don't think they meant to drop it like that, but this is a crazy season. If you don't come prepared, then you're gonna drop points. And I don't know what I I didn't see the game, but it sounded as if it could have gone either way,
Yep.
right? Either team could have ran away with it, but none of them could. So I mean Newcastle did it to us, and I think the difference. I mean our defense pretty much kept them to one opportunity. They got it. Liverpool's a little leaky now, right? Because they're missing one of their pillars.
Konate.
And 3 goals,
Yep.
one late. Same thing we did. Same thing they did to us, right? To get the draw. So they got turnaround is fair play, I guess, right? So they got a little bit of the same kind of thing we did. So yeah, no, I think it's going to be a crazy season, but I think only thing we can do is just keep trying to win. So I'm going to drop off, see if I can fix my camera.
Yeah, drop in again,
right
and I'll give my thoughts on this game, Newcastle. They came, everybody's been talking about Liverpool, and they've been really, really good playing at home, and they've been really good at getting the wins against good teams at home. I have it here. They beat City at home recently. They beat Villa. They beat Chelsea. They beat Brighton. They beat Bournemouth. But guess what? When you go away to tough grounds, especially in the top half of the league, they've found it difficult. They drew with us at Arsenal in a game that we probably should have held on to win. And we're trying to overcome the effects, and Gary will know it. He's been saying it for a while. We're trying to overcome the effects this season of dropping wins or leading positions in the last 10 minutes of games. But Liverpool went away to Arsenal, only got a point. Still an improvement on last season when they lost to us. Now they've got away to Newcastle and just gotten a draw as well. They played Newcastle and they played City recently, and they got 4 points. Guess what? Last season they did the same thing. They drew to City and beat Newcastle. They also got 4 points. So what I'm trying to say is this Liverpool team this year is still the Liverpool team from last year. And Arne Slot has just kept that thing moving forward. But Mo Salah is playing out of his skin for sure. And he's playing for a contract. But we're going to talk about it tonight. They're a one-man team, really. And I know that Stan has said and others have said we want to have that prime striker. But the good thing, Gary, about us, Arsenal, is that we can spread the goals around. So if Martinelli has an off day or Havertz has an off day, you've got Saka or Odegaard stepping up.
Yes, and we're going to take that. I mean, if you look at we don't have anybody with more than 5 goals in the Premier League. That's Saka and actually Kai both have 5 goals, right? Saka's, and then everybody else is like, got like 3 players with 3. So yeah, the goals are going to come from wherever they need to come, and that's kind of how we're going to have to play until we figure out. For me, this is on Arteta to figure out a plan of how we can get goals from positions of need, not just right now, just like at Saka and Kai. What about I think we need more from Martinelli and Trossard and stuff. So for me, that's what we're going to need to do, because a couple was it 2 or 3 for the last 2 years or 3 years we've had double-digit goal scorers, multiple. This year, right now, I mean, it's only what is it? Was it 13?
14 games in.
Is it
Premier League?
14 games in right now?
Just over 30.
So it might be a struggle to get 10 goals from more than 1 or 2 players where we're heading right now, and I think we're going to need a lot more than that. Just to get by. So yeah, you know what? This is how he wants to. I think Arteta's cautious nature is what's creating a lot of this. I don't think we take enough risks in the right areas of the pitch, and we just leave ourselves with even more risk when we rotate and reset the ball back in the back line and try to play out the back sometimes under duress when I'd rather take those risks upfield, where if we lose it, it's fine, right? But we don't do that. So we'll rather reset. But yeah, go ahead.
we'll get into this Arsenal game very shortly, but I just want to have one final say. From what Steven said, the Arsenal misfit here, Newcastle deserved what they got. Yeah, they were playing at home. They needed to win the game. Virgil van Dijk took a shot, and another player early on with no card shown as usual. And this is similar to what he did to Kai Havertz in our game. Now, sometimes big teams need players like that, but the referee needs to see these things. Nowhere near the ball, and he knew what he was doing. Exactly, it was a bit of a cheap shot, but we've had that about us as well in our team. And Newcastle take the lead 1-0 at the halftime. Liverpool come back. They go 2-1 up. I think Anthony ties the game, and then Salah. Actually, Newcastle go 2-1 up, and then Salah comes back with 2 goals to go 3-2 up. And then you're thinking, okay, damn, you got to give them credit for a win at Newcastle, something we didn't do. But at the end of the day, Newcastle got what they deserved, as Steven said. And small things like this can crack open a title race. The goalkeeper, Kelleher, who's been very good for them, decides to let the ball. He thinks he's letting the ball out of play, right? I don't know if you saw it, Gary. I think you said you didn't see it. And the goalkeeper could grab that ball. He lets it over his head, and Shaw puts it in from a very, very extreme angle. But of such things, your title push can falter sometimes. And, a wobble can come out of this. We have very, very winnable games going forward. And one notable area we'll talk about a bit later is where we can improve upon. It comes up on this weekend when we go away from home to Fulham, a ground in which we didn't get 3 points last season. So we're looking at places where we can improve and get 3 points that we didn't have last season, and Fulham away will be one of those.
One of our road tests, Ray, since we're home the next 12 of the next 13. So.
One of what?
I said one of those road games where we had 12 or 13 games in London. So
12 and 13 games of what?
In London, we don't leave the
yeah.
We don't leave London until.
Man, I'm really I'm better at this usually. I'm better at tuning in and knowing exactly what Tony's talking about. Yes, one of the many, many games we're going to play in London, and that should give us an advantage as well, right?
Yeah, I don't think we leave until what is it? Is it Manchester United, or I don't know where Ipswich Town is, but
Ipswich Town is about a couple of hours. Well, we're playing Ipswich Town at home, but
oh yeah, you're right.
Ipswich Town is a couple of hours north of London.
So I guess it would be Brighton and Brentford. No, it's Brighton.
Yeah,
that far trip to Brighton down to the beach.
Yeah, but I mean that's not London, right? So that's not until
we're going to play a lot of games in London.
The new year. So
yeah, great strike from Isak, Salah. Performing, and where would Liverpool be without Mo Salah? They better hope he doesn't pick up an injury. Indeed. So Gary, let's get into the Arsenal Man United game, and we have a Man United fan, as long as he's respectful in the chat, he can stick around and have a conversation with us. But he actually thinks, Gary, that Manchester United had more possession, had more bite about them than Arsenal. I think it was a very even game, especially in the first half.
Yeah, I mean the stats will tell you that as much as the possession that they had, they weren't threatening us at all. I mean, I don't think we really felt like. I mean, I don't think anybody really felt like they were going to score. I mean, they turned the ball over a lot, even in the final third and stuff like that. So I kind of felt like they weren't going to punish us, and at least the way the game played out, I think a lot of effort was put in just trying to minimize what we did, and that basically hurt them on the other side. Much less they didn't really have a lot of, didn't have anybody that was going to punish us either. So I think we just need. That's why I think we need to take a little bit more risk ourselves because they're going to do everything they can to keep us contained. They did a really good job of that, but we needed to take some chances and we didn't. So,
right.
Yeah.
Possession can't be too much more even. Us with 50.3, them with 49.7. So.
Yeah. Yeah. And what you had is, I think a Manchester United team who had gone unbeaten for 6 games under Ruben Amorim. So, he's starting to fashion them into a team. I felt that, which I was correct in thinking that it would be too early to impact Arsenal and where we're at in our season and our development, that he wouldn't have been able to get the grips with them too much. And actually, you see some of that borne out with Slabhead and the way he was defending. Like, I actually seen in one of the memes or a clip where he has his arms out like a windmill, trying to stop our players from flowing from that back post to the near post. Our players are just like slipping by him, and his arms are out like this. Like, what am I going to do? I'm trying to hold you back. And before he knows it, Arsenal have scored from a set piece. You know what I mean? So, crazy stuff. Wait, Gary, I mean, Arsenal, the rival fans want to hit Arsenal with every kind of stick they can, right? So now we're set piece FC or we're Stoke FC, but it takes a lot of skill and precision to actually execute those set pieces.
I don't care how the goals go in, but you need a goal to win, and there's multiple opportunities to do that from the spot, from a set piece, from open play. So we'll take whatever one gets us the goals, right? So
right, exactly. Man United won the European Cup in '99 through set pieces. Now Man United fans are crying as if it's illegal, and the PGMOL will want to banish corner kicks pretty soon. You know what I mean?
It's not like this is a new thing for us for the last 3-4 seasons. Been pretty good. Had a little bit of a drop off last season, but it's what we've been doing.
Mm-hmm.
Look at Gabriel. He's been the leading center back scorer since he's been with us. So, and what I like about it, which I don't think's talked about enough, is how much they communicate. Oh, Alonzo.
Hello, Alonzo.
But I think with communications, because earlier it would be like Gabriel would tell him something, go set up, then he would come back and tell him what to correct, what he was reading by the opponents, the way they were moving, the way they were set up, and that's been the key to it. Because I mean, Odegaard and Saka too, because Saka's been doing these perfect weight to those corners. I don't know how you can get better than he's been at.
Yeah,
those corners. I was a little annoyed with Saliba's goal yesterday. Off the buttocks into the deal.
What?
Everybody.
You're annoyed that we scored a goal.
Yeah, what the hell?
I'm annoyed by that. Everybody's singing as.
What do you mean? Who cares? Why do you're not annoyed? You're happy. I don't care how the ball goes in.
I was not happy. It was annoying. It went off his ass. He had no idea.
It doesn't matter. If it goes off his shin, people said he didn't mean to do that either.
He seemed pretty happy about it, Tony. He seemed pretty happy about it himself,
But that's, I think that's what bothered me about it, was how much he celebrated it when it, unbeknownst to him,
you are making no sense at all. We score a goal, take a lead in a game, and you're like, I don't like it because we scored it.
Didn't do it the right
way. I don't care how the ball goes.
Didn't do it the right way.
If we scored all own goals for the rest of the season, I don't care.
Yeah. Exactly.
They count for us.
All right. Exactly. Alonso, we'll bring you in. Well, how you doing, Alonso? You good?
Yeah, pretty good. I just want to let you guys know I'm available for podcasting,
All right. Well, let's step up,
and
right?
I'm always interested.
Not cutting checks for nothing around here.
You're cutting checks.
Yeah, I'm cutting them.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. I haven't seen anything.
Right. So yeah, it's good to be with you guys, Tony, Ray, and Gary. Yeah, I mean, I had to work, but I'm watching replay. The highlights are pretty awesome. I don't care how I get the goals in, right? As long as we win the game, Tony. It has to be fan. It doesn't have to be fancy. You know, I'm very impressed though about how we've been scoring goals from corner kicks or set pieces, and we've come the best in Europe at it. So it's quite good to see that you don't have to score from left or right, or even have a perfect striker. We could just at least have height on the ball, or at least have a head on the ball to score these goals. And it's different. It's a difference between people are now saying we're like Stoke now. Which I don't know about Stoke, but you know, I like how we're winning these games.
Yeah, I mean it's rivalry, it's banter. They're just trying to level anything at us. I mean, the way we've built our team up over the years, we've acquired various parts of the jigsaw puzzle, and we put a very well assembled team together, and they're functioning at a high level now. You know, now you get corners. How do you get corners, Tony? As a consequence of your dominance in the final third.
You kick the ball off the opponent, it goes out of the back line.
I obviously chose the wrong panel member to ask that question.
But I have my other thought in my head. The thing is, Saliba's 6'4". He should be better in there. He's terrible.
Do better, Saliba. Do better.
Absolutely terrible rate of aerial duels one. He's not good. It's something he needs to hit in the gym, get those legs built up a little bit.
Jesus Christ, man. What else do you want from him?
He doesn't. I want a little bit of Gabrielle in him. Come on,
we have a Gabrielle, we have a Saliba. They both complement each other. They both do different things.
What do you always want, Gary? You want that second, third, fourth goal. The guy learns to jump, then you get on more goals.
We've got like
so then you'd be
4 attackers, and none of them scored yesterday. Right?
Tom said Ray very early on has decided he isn't going to try to keep up with the chat. Tony is the brakes. He hits the handbrakes. You know what I mean? Bill Al said because we actually had a game plan and didn't reply on corners, just happened to get one late into the game. Well, you didn't have enough dominance in the opponent's part of the field, so that's why you don't get corner kicks. You know what I mean? We're still the Dark Arts FC.
I set a high bar earlier today, Ray, because I posted about 120 of Tom's 121 comments during the wrestling show. So you better, Ray.
Steven said we made one, but United did a job on us in open play. I think it was a very even game. I have to be honest. I don't think Manchester United really troubled us. Apart from a shot that flashed by us in the early part of the first half. Alonso, can you remember Manchester United ever really troubling us?
No. And I tell you, I think Partey and Rice were big factors in that. I think they came alive. I think Partey in particular has held his own, and most of us thought that he'd be injury prone by now.
Yeah.
And whether bring in Jorginho or himself, he knows his job, and his job is to hold the ball. and keep the other team from scoring and be the defensive midfielder that we've been wanting, injury free. I think Rice should prove his worth today. And I think QVR did well today as well, or yesterday as well. So I think the Gafford is getting the best out of his team right now. I think being a clean sheet is impressive enough. I think Zinchenko also played well. Zinchenko played well
Yes.
as well.
Yes.
And I know I've been critical of him in the past for not being solid enough to be in a starting 11, but he was pretty good today. So yesterday. So I say today because I'm watching the game again. So yeah, fair enough to all of them. I think they earned their work today or played to their potential. I hope Partey just continues to stay healthy. And because I want him to do well. I want him to be active. And yeah, I think they. Man United really didn't have any competition for us today. I remember when the summertime got Xerxes, he kind of got everyone's head. I think got everyone for a Man United fan excited, but he hasn't shown anything. And Holden as well. I mean, their attacking is just a mess right now. So yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Let's hone in a little bit on something Alonso said, Gary. Zinchenko. I thought he defended. Is it just me? I wanted to get all of your viewpoints as well. I thought he defended a little bit better than he had done when, memory serving me. Zinchenko playing previously a left back.
Yeah, like I said, I watched the game, but I didn't feel like they even tested him, and that's usually when he gets, when we get punished is when teams tested him, and I didn't see that much in the game. I think that's it's partly because of the way United was playing and the way we were controlling that midfield. They didn't really get too much down that side. You know what I mean? So I think defensively we do what we usually do. So that's what's kept them at bay. But they never. I don't think they tried. They forced their way and attack him. So, that's where we get in trouble is when he has to have these one-on-ones when they go out their way to just make sure they can test him. So that didn't really happen in this game. I think Manchester United were more worried about our attack than they were maybe about trying to get an easy goal off of him if that was the threat. If that was where they weakest link. So I don't believe he had much to do in that sense. You've got Rice on that side and Martinelli, so I think that kept them at bay in this game because Martinelli was making some runs down the pitch. If you saw a lot of times, even so we kept them at bay a little bit. But yeah, no, he still concerns me as a defender because I know teams will test him, and I don't like the odds. So yeah. But I'm, kind of was chatting with some people about this, and I'm surprised they put him in this game because it was a big game. But like I think when we play teams lower in the table, we're going to have a lot more dominance on the ball.
Yeah,
and he should be fine in those games. But I thought this might have been one not. But we can't seem to stay healthy on that back line or on the wide parts of that back line. So there you go. So yeah, I don't really, like I said, I didn't see much from him, so I wasn't necessarily looking. I don't think the game, dictated that we saw a lot from his side, especially on the defensive side. I didn't think we saw much there because of the way the game played out. I mean, I believe the ball was probably in the middle of the pitch most of the time, really on our side, right? They only had 3 touches in the box. Or 3 touches in the attacking third, so whatever it is, a small number. So we pretty much kept them at bay. So defensively, we were pretty strong. He was part of that, but and I think a lot of that for me is from the midfield, and that's why we miss Erdegaard for that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I thought positionally he did quite well. Was he tested? Was there any balls put over the top of his head into that corner? Probably not, but. For first game back after having the feeling that he's not a good defender, maybe he had some coaching lessons, maybe he had some training sessions, and positionally was better or coached better in this game. Have to obviously go around the house and get Tony's opinion. So with bated breath, I'm going to ask Tony what he thought about Zinchenko.
Comrade Zinchenko.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of what all you guys said. It's a combination of them not being threatening at all. They only had 5 or 6 shots. Never really threatened us. And maybe some of the way Timber defends us cut on, because Timber doesn't usually drift too much past the halfway line. So maybe that has something to do with it, but it's not like he's magically a better defender. It's just what gets me is all these teams play, all these players play in a different position for their national team, yet we line them up in a spot that's not as good for him. I don't get it. But,
Yeah. Listen, enough Zinchenko talk. We got to go to Kivior next. Happy enough that we had Saliba and we had Timber on that right side. So always felt that we were solid on the right hand side. The left side would be tested. And Tony has been bigging up Kivior for a while, and this was a huge test for Kivior because he had Zinchenko outside of him. So I felt he really stepped up in this game and filled in and played really well, and to the effect that we didn't really miss Gabriel, and that's what you need from a squad, right, Gary?
Yeah, and once again, that's probably the way that Manchester United play. I mean, I was scared for that left side of our defense, but we weren't threatened at all, and he did really well. He played, but I don't know about you, but I didn't remember them saying his name much.
No, but
Zinchenko's name much. The only time I heard Zinchenko's name was up on the offensive side of the pitch, not defensively. Same thing for Kiwior. I didn't really hear them say his name or see the ball even threaten. Come down inside where he had. I didn't feel like I saw much of that where he was. He had to be tested in the game. Like I said, I think the way the game played out, and Partey and Rice in front of him, I think did a really good job of making sure nothing silly happened. So I think, like I said, I think that midfield is perfect for us. It kept the game in our control, and that's even as much as United played really well structurally, it didn't allow them to do what they wanted to do offensively. And our midfield, I think, did really well in this game. That's where I think a lot of the praise should go, and it kept our back line pretty clean. All right,
Yep.
Raya made a save, I think, late in the game, but otherwise he wasn't necessarily tested too much. So, yeah. No, Kiwior did good, but did he get tested today? Yesterday? I don't think so. But that's kind of what we do. When we're on, I think it's gonna look like that. So
Yeah.
And
the thing about Kivior, I think like you said, our midfield protected him really well. Also, but when called upon, he defended adequately, I thought, and did a really good job. Him and Saliba, high-fiving each other, and that's the kind of thing you need. Maybe when Kivior comes in, Alonso, that Saliba is, guiding him through the game as well.
Yeah, and Kivior, to me, is a very talented footballer. I think he gets overlooked because Megalesh and Saliba play a lot of games in the back line. So, it's hard to get on when those two are very good. So, I think, Arteta not took a risk, but kind of looked at Kivior and said, hey, it's your turn now to shine. And he did so with a lot of confidence. And a lot of players are willing to come in with a lot of confidence. So, I know it's Man United, but still, it's a good win for him personally, I think. And to do that and keep a clean sheet is pretty remarkable. And next time Arteta could keep him in mind for the next rotation period.
Yeah, and maybe even Gabriel might not make the game against Fulham, as Moss said here. Got to beat our little bros Fulham on Sunday, so it'll be a little bit of an Arsenal get together. But yeah, they got to give us 3 points on Saturday, and that's, as I said earlier, that'll represent improvement upon last season where we didn't get 3 points at that venue. I remember a really horrible game where we lost 2-1 in the rain. So that'll represent definite improvement. Yeah, but I really enjoyed.
Just stop right there, Ray. You do what you always do. Arsenal lose. It's the fucking weather. It's Zeus playing with the lightning and the rain.
No,
Guess what? It's in England, Ray. It rains almost every day. So find a new excuse. Don't try to sneak that one past the goalie. You snotty boy.
all right, Tony. I worried about Kivior. Listen, you have been talking about Kivior as a competent footballer, and at the end of the day, Arteta was very, very happy with his performance, stepping in Gabriel's shoes.
Yeah, he's looked better. He looked better at center back, but I think that's still based on Arteta's system because at fullback he still wants him going too far. It ends up losing the center backs. But I never thought we needed to go spend the 45 million on Calafiori. Or sometimes I sneak in there, calamari. But I really think Calafiori is no better at defense than Zinchenko.
Wow. Okay. That's Tony's takes. I think we'll have to call it Tony's takes. You know what I mean? Tony's hot takes.
But Ray was worried about this. Let's see what Ray had to say.
Oh, Jesus.
It's nothing bad.
It's not that I was I think I said something. Let's see how your boy does today. You know, I'll have to eat humble pie if Kivior plays well. That's what I was thinking. I don't know if I typed that. Gary, we're talking about the back four, and we'll talk about the forwards and the midfield. But what about David Raya? You know, does he bring just a lot of calmness to this team now?
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, if we've forgotten about all the other goalkeepers we've had, he's been really good. And when we needed saves, he stood up. He stood up late in games multiple times for us this season. So yeah, no, I don't think we have any question about who the number one goalkeeper is anymore, right?
Yeah.
He's been doing a good job with that, keeping us in games, keeping us from losing points. So, no, I like everything about him. I mean, kind of fits in with everything that we want to do.
Yeah.
I mean, no, there's not much. There's nothing really negative to say about him. I think he's doing a really good job. When we need him to stand up, he usually does. So yeah, I'm enjoying that.
It's called Arsenal FC, not Ramsdale FC, in the furore of this last season when we switched to David Raya. Was crazy. Alonso, what are your thoughts on David Raya? I mean, he came up with a really good save there. When we were 1-0 up, there was a save from De Ligt. About the only thing that Manchester United did on the day.
Yeah, I whenever Raya came on to Arsenal, I was optimistic because I like Ramsdale. But it seemed like Arteta saw something in Raya that we Arsenal fans hadn't seen yet.
Mm-hmm. We'll give it a second. Yeah,
and it's been quite impressive.
There we go.
It's been quite impressive, and he got some big wins as well through his saves and penalty kicks and all that. So, now I'm starting to believe. Well, I believe last year, towards the end of the season, but I believe that he was our number one goalkeeper at the end of the day. It took some time. He grew on me a little bit, and fair play to him.
Yeah. Gary means business. The hood is up. Yeah, definitely. Raya is the one, says BX Gunner. Let's make sure we're smashing the like button and subbing. Definitely. Thanks, Rosie. And Gary, talk to me about the midfield, and we will get into the forwards then. But I think you mentioned Partey had a good game, Rice, and of course Odegaard.
I think as a I guess a threesome. I guess I don't know what you call it, but as a middle three.
Jesus Christ.
Well, you certainly woke up the bottom row.
It sounds like it. Sounds like it. Just certain words trigger that.
Tony lit up.
So yeah, but that middle three. Can I speak?
Trio,
You can.
Gary. Trio.
I liked what I said. All right, leave me alone.
Trio.
But,
you might
that
like
midfield. That midfield.
Nobody likes a doctor and a nurse.
Yeah, no, that midfield did really well. I think holding up under the structure that had set up. So I wanted them to be a little bit more daring, and I know, like for me, that's partly Rice.
What more daring in this threesome?
All right, you're gonna stick on that one. All right, so that's all you heard. That's all you heard. You heard one word.
You should have seen these two guys.
Yeah, as soon as I said that word, they just like, wait a second, I'll be right back, kind of thing, you know. It's like, can you come up to the board, please? Like, no, I can't go up to the board right now. It's like, all right, I'm sorry, dude. I wasn't. That's not where I was going with that.
Oh my god.
But yeah. But no, I think the mid three. I think that's that's one of our stronger mid threes that we got. I just wanted to be a little bit more daring. That's what I wanted. I know United has a lot to do with that, but there were chances, I think, where we could have probably taken the ball a little further up the pitch, and we hesitated, or we just wouldn't take the shot, or make the pass. So for me, that's the only thing that
there are lots of sexual
dude, we can't. I don't need to hear you. All right. There's a reason. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. This guy. But no, like I said, I like that midfield. They controlled it as best they could. I think the one thing, and then you guys talked about it, Amorim, he's just been there a short time, but he's given them some structure. And I think he's tried to, as some people have said, and I kind of believe it as well, he's going to try to do as much as he can with what he's got, similar to what Arteta did when he got to Arsenal, and he just had whatever players he had. He said, you know what, I'll do the best I can with this set of players, and that's why we play the back three, because that's what, this is the best we could do. I think that's what he's going to do as he figures out who's good or not good. I think he's figured it out already, but he just needs to see it in game situations. So I think there'll be a lot of players probably going eventually if he has a say.
Oh yeah, there'll be a transition of players, and you're right. Ruben Amorim, he dropped Rashford not because he wanted to drop Rashford, but he needed to see games from other players as well. Garnacho, and I think Højlund played. Neither one of them got very much from this Arsenal side, especially centrally with Saliba on our right back area where Timber is, and Timber has been exceptional for us this season as well. I'm so happy he got that goal as well. It's nice when players that have come to Arsenal, get their first goal. We had Mikel Merino score against Liverpool at the Emirates, and now we've had Timber score against Manchester United at the Emirates as well. So definitely good stuff. Timber in one area offered that fearless, direct gameplay with an end result. I think the midfield battle was interesting. Bruno Fernandes playing a little bit, deeper in midfield, I think. and maybe that wasn't so good for them. But listen, we took advantage of the team that was put out there, and you can only be what's put out in front of you. And Gary, we were talking about Liverpool earlier. They were drawing. They ended the game 3-3, and I know goals come at different times, but a few minutes after we hear Liverpool drew the game, Arsenal take the lead through Jurrien Timber, and he gets that first goal at the near post with a flick on header.
Huh?
He got that goal at the front post, at the near post with a flick on header. Timber did.
Yeah.
So,
Well, yeah. I mean, you had to find somebody else to do it besides, Gabriel being out. Everybody's like, wondering if we have anything in us, and I think we showed that anybody can score. It's not just Gabriel seems to be one of our better players, but in general, I think anybody has an opportunity, and we showed that yesterday. So no, it was good to see him get that goal. I mean, I think that's his first goal, right? I think so.
Yeah, first goal for the club,
and I think it might be the first goal for Saliba for the season too. I think.
Oh yeah, probably. Now that I think about it,
I don't think he's. Let's see. I think it was first goals for both of them. Let's see.
Yeah.
And
look, if you like an Arsenal, if you like a good old Arsenal song, you can either sing the Saliba song or you can sing the Timber song.
Yeah, there was a lot of that going on in the game. A lot of that going on. You can hear that. You can hear the singing all the way through. So, yeah, I think Saliba. What is he at? Yeah, that was his first goal of the season as well. So yeah, we'll take that.
And coincidentally, you had Timber score, you had Saliba score two of the songs that the crowd get into. The crowd was really rocking then after that. I mean, obviously they're buoyed by the fact that we know Liverpool dropped 2 points and Arsenal have taken the lead 1-0. And so the crowd was really rocking. It struck me, Gary, that that's the kind of atmosphere that you get at Anfield or you would get at Newcastle. And the home crowd need to continue to use our home games to the maximum and gather as many points at home as possible. Because whatever way this shapes out, and I think Arsenal are going to close this gap down from 7, and we're going to gradually get closer to the top. But it's going to be close at the end of the day, and it's going to be around high 80s or close to 90 points at the end of the day.
Yeah. I don't care what the number is as long as we have the most, you know what I mean?
The most at the end of the day.
Yeah, because it's not going to really matter. Like, I mean, until it's close, it's not close yet. I mean, Liverpool still has a, 7-point lead. So until it's within 4 points or so, then it will, keeping everybody at bay.
Interesting thing, Gary. This was we know we had a difficult start to the season, right? We knew the first 5 or 6 games was going to be difficult. We had to go to Aston Villa, we had to go to Manchester City, and we had to go to Tottenham, the toilet bowl, right? And we knew they would be difficult, but this is the first point in the season where we've actually strung 3 wins together consecutively in the league, And it's a time where we needed to do it. Our schedule was a little bit lighter, this Manchester United game notwithstanding, but I always felt that we had enough to beat Manchester United, especially at home at the Emirates. This is the time in the month of December where we need to start exerting more and more pressure upon Liverpool and anyone else who's going to be around us. Like we might be able to cast off Chelsea, who have had a pretty good start to the season as well. It's same record as we have had, albeit I've just been looking at ourselves, Liverpool and City, and Chelsea have just hung in there, right? I mean, they're going to be good. I predicted them as being in the top 4, but at some point they're going to drop away. They have to play Tottenham coming up soon, and that'll be a difficult game for both teams. So How do you see this month of December progressing? We've got Fulham away. I think we play Everton after that at home, and then it's Crystal Palace away, Ipswich at home.
They're all winnable games, right? So that's
Yeah.
what it is. That's why we only need to get one game at a time. We don't really have too big of fixtures that should threaten us in terms of like somebody trying to get something from us. We just got to play our game, get healthy, and get our players back and get them back into form. I think, like I said, until we play Manchester City at home. That most
In
every
February.
game, most every I guess we do play. I guess in mid January we do play
Couple of
that
tough
team
ones.
in Villa and back to back. But
Yeah.
Wednesday, Saturday, short week game there. But then
Yeah.
so I think all games that we should have the odds to win in. So one game at a time. I can't. It's hard to look that. I don't want to keep looking all the way down the road there because the next one up is Fulham, and we saw what Fulham did today, right? I mean, everybody thought Fulham might struggle today. And
did you watch that game?
I didn't watch it. No.
Okay. But they beat a decent Brighton team at home, so their tails are up a little bit. Arsenal will definitely need to be concentrated against Fulham. And take a little bit of that pain from last New Year's Eve into this game.
The one thing that you kind of are talking about, I think, is something that they have. They seem to be doing every so often. Their attack, Fulham's attack, looks like it could be threatening, and then it kind of dissipates a little bit.
Yeah.
Chelsea, on the other hand, I think has a lot of answers on the attacking side with the players that they brought in, and that's kind of I think that's how they've been able to win a lot of these games is that the offensive attack, offensive talent that they have. So that's what's gonna because I think defensively, if you can test their defense, you have a chance. But teams haven't been able to do that against them because they're probably too concerned about the attack. Whereas if you saw in our game, we did defensively we were strong and upset except for one kind of little blip which we seem to have every game. They don't tie that game up.
So it's going to be a huge December for us, Tony. Fulham away is tricky, says Hawkwin. These are the kind of games that you win leagues. The league is won. As we know, we didn't win the league last season. Not just because of Fulham, but we dropped a lot of points to Fulham. We dropped 5 points to Fulham. That's 5 points. We win the league by 3 points against City. We get those 5 points. You know what I mean?
Or 6 points to Villa. Blah blah blah.
Yeah, and that's where we have to be better, Tony.
And Gary, this is a triad or a trio, not a threesome.
It's whatever it says. It's 3 players playing. 3 people playing together.
He went to the dictionary. He went to his dictionary at the bookcase.
No, I went to check why Christmas lights are part of my Christmas lights weren't working.
We've got Palace twice in December. One of those got to be quarterfinal that we got to progress into the semifinal from as well. Fulham away looks like a bogey team for us, but BX and Hawkwin, that's where we have to turn things around. We can't. Fulham are just, they represent just 3 points and the next game to us. You know what I mean? That's all it is. Tony?
You just, to me, you can't worry too much about these games. You go out there, you play them. I don't want to hear that Fulham's they're not. Come on. It just the players have to show up. The manager has to put them in the best positions that they play in, not just
Position to succeed in, right?
Well, a position is to see in, and I was going for the literal there. Actually, put the players where they're best at, not trying to put players where they're not as good at.
So yeah, it leads me on to my next point is like because of is Mikel. I think Mikel Arteta is making good substitutions in the last 3 or 4 games. Now, is that due to just the pure block of games he recognizes we were facing into, that he recognizes rotation is needed, or is it a combination of Gabriel had that injury. He took a punch to the face from Fabien. Gary, I'll go to you first. Um, is it just happenstance that he's finding the right mix, or is he actually? Does it look to you like he's actually rotating correctly and bringing in the right types of players and giving them the right types of rhythm and games?
I mean, the subs are working because I think our squad, the depth that we have, makes it easy. So whenever we bring somebody in, it's not like it's just going to work or not. So I kind of felt like yes, the subs look like they're working. I would like to sometimes give them a little bit more. I don't know why, where he hasn't been getting some minutes. I think he deserves it, at least from what I've seen. So especially in games where we need to score and things, and our approach isn't working. I believe whenever he's on the pitch, he's going to give us he's gonna take a shot. And a lot of our players right now, I mean, it's almost like Arteta is gonna try to wean him off that. So he comes in and all he does is just lots of passing around as opposed to looking to score when he's in when he's in eyesight of the goal. So I hope that doesn't happen. But I just think we need to, I mean, I think the subs are working just because of the depth of the squad. So whenever you bring somebody in, we don't see
the quality within the squad.
Yeah, when it's not seeing a drop off like we have in the past. So I kind of feel like
you'll get your turn, Tony.
So I just feel like I'm almost done here. No, I think we. I feel like go ahead, Tony.
Tony's the guy who, Gary has a bicycle, and Tony's the guy who's grabbing on the handlebars saying, "Give me a go, give me a go, get off that bike. It's my turn."
But anyway, we made 2 substitutions at 71 minutes, 1 at 90 minutes. I don't think that's
good enough.
Really much better or good enough than the previous game. I think we made like a 86-minute substitution.
I thought it was great the way Arteta, gave Kivior a big hug and had some words for him as well. You stepped in, you came in, you stepped in Gabriel's absence, and you did a great job. Jurrien Timber the same, So Mikel Arteta, probably knowing the result up in Newcastle, knew how important this was as well. Mr. Bungle is in a hospital, got a chest infection now. Bless him. So we do wish him speedy recovery, right?
Yep.
So get well soon, Mr. Bungle. But yeah, listen, it's a big month coming up. Let's get back into the game now a little bit. The goal by Jurrien Timber. I mean, it's a great goal by Jurrien Timber. The corner kick routine, the skill that Saka and Rice have now, that we perfected this, Tony. The placement of the set pieces. We're able to hit the near post, the back post, and we're able to hit centrally as well. And it just became really funny as the game wore on that Manchester United seemed haunted by our set piece routines, and I know Mahir always disliked Manchester United, so this one was for him. I want to dedicate this win for him as well. So I don't know where he is, but hopefully he's doing okay. But yeah, Tony, what are your thoughts on the set piece routines?
I commented on it earlier.
Yeah.
I like how you have the trio of players that communicate out there. You have Saka, you have Odegaard, and we've been having Gabriel. Of course, he wasn't able to play, but he'll be back. But it's.
Do you think he'll be back for Fulham? Do you think it's like this is probably a likely? We avoided a concussion protocol, probably, right?
I don't know. Will he still be under one? It's hard to say.
It was not called. I think teams now are starting to. I've heard one or two instances of this. Avoid the concussion protocol because that means your player's out for at least one game, irrespective of the circumstances.
I think we can. I think we have an answer, Ray. I'm sure somewhere in one of our locker rooms, somewhere at one of the training grounds, that we have a Peter Cech added hat for Gabriel. But it's something that doesn't get talked about, and it should. Is that it's such a fucking. It is. It's literally a fucking joke about how the Premier League doesn't protect these players at all.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a clobber knocker of a hand to the head. It was like a right cross that just damn near knocked him out. And I personally, I don't know, probably up to 6 concussions at this point. But my first one I had just turned 18, I think. And I was knocked out for about 55 minutes. Went to the hospital. The funny part is they had a guy filling in for another hospital. And he asked me where I was. And I said St. Anthony's because that's what he had embroidered into this doctor outfit there. But I was at St. Joseph's, so it down. But no idea where I was for about 6 weeks. You would hear a fly. Wow. A fly would sound like a helicopter. Missed about 20 days of school. I would go in there, like attend 2 or 3 hours of classes and just start being dizzy and sick and going home. But enough about me. It's just something they need to really push. I mean, you only have that pushed in the NFL because of lawsuits. I mean, those guys still didn't get enough money and stuff. But they just really, I mean, you heard it for a while. They were taking youth sports. They were taking the headers out of a game and stuff. But hopefully Gabriel, I mean, he is a brick shit house, but hopefully he doesn't come back being timid because concussions aren't fun. I mean, he's been heading the hell out of a ball. Maybe I'll learn to do a bicycle kick or something. Who knows? But it's just something that bothers me that doesn't get talked about. It gets talked about, oh, the player might miss a game or this or that. But his physical well-being's not really looked at. Not looked at much by the team, not looked at by the league.
Well, I don't know. I think they do get assessed. You know what I mean?
Not much, right? Come on.
The players are an asset to the team. Of course, they're going to be tested, and they got all sorts of machines scans, things that would cost the average person a lot of money. Let me just say that. If you're getting a scan on your knee, or you're getting some ultrasound type stuff on a muscle, you know what I mean? Better be sure there'll be a bill coming in for that. So I think the teams do look after the players and assess the fitness.
Yeah, maybe fitness, Ray, but I don't think they really look at the heads much. I mean, there's times where you will see both players basically knocked out. They sat there for 4 or 5 minutes, and a lot of times they come back into the game. I think this rule has backfired on them. They need to alter this rule because you make that substitution, but you give the other team a free substitution because they're allowed to bring somebody on because you made a sub because your player has a concussion.
Yeah,
I think that part needs change because I think the teams look at it. Oh, if I bring him out, then they're bringing on fresh legs, and that does factor into these things.
Yep. Gary, what are your thoughts on that? I mean, the concussion protocol.
It's supposed to be protecting the players, but they don't. It's not even concussions. It's pretty much everywhere else on the pitch, not just the colliding and headers and stuff like that. In general, they just need to protect the players better, and they're not doing that. And that just means the needling fouls and stuff like that. Collisions that they say, oh, it's just a coming together when they know one of the players actually either instigated it or, got there late. All these types of things where they're not. I don't think they are. As I said, it's just protect the players, and that's concussions is included in that. They like to give players the benefit of the doubt sometimes, and they need to make sure that when they do that, it's not at the expense of the health of the players. I mean, players should just protect the players.
I think you're both correct in that. I mean, everything below the net, I'm like saying everything below the neck gets analyzed in terms of the fitness of the body, how far they can run, what they can endure in terms of the intensity per minutes, per 90. But you're right. When it comes to the mental aspect and you have a concussion protocol, sometimes a player will even, and Gary's right, you have the medic at hand has to be almost forceful because the player himself will want to say that he's okay to carry on. You know what I mean?
And these players, they've had these protocols set up so long, they basically know what to say to pass the protocol, even though they're mentally, physically not ready to go back out there.
Yeah.
They're a danger to themselves. And like I said, it just really needs policed. I still think the other team being able to bring on a free substitution, that rule probably needs to go bye-bye. I mean, I don't think many teams are to fake a head injury to bring on a substitution because, come on.
Yeah. So listen, an interesting sidebar discussion there, a little bit on concussion. But Bukayo Saka, Gary. What did he get? Another assist today?
Yep.
Yesterday?
Yep.
So he's on what, 11 now?
15. I'm sorry, 10 assists.
10 assists. So he's hit 10 assists.
Yeah.
I thought he was on 10 already.
I just did a refresh and it still says 10. So unless I'm missing something.
Okay, so
see what Premier League says.
Are they? He didn't get the assist because
it was our deflection off. That's right.
That corner came to Partey, And
Yeah.
Partey's header goes off of Saliba.
So if anybody gets the assist, it's Partey. But
because Saka did not pick up on that, and it was Declan Rice who takes the corner kicks from the right hand side. Yeah. So a rare game where Bukayo Saka doesn't show up with a goal involvement in this game.
Yeah. I mean, for me, that's why I want him to be a little bit more aggressive on that side. Not enough. He did get. I think they got a lot of blocks because we hesitated. Instead of just taking it one time, we kind of like wait just enough, and they always they just slid in front of a lot of our shots.
That was so bad.
So just taking it one time, we kind of like waiting for something to happen. It's like no, just take the damn shot.
So
put the ball in.
Here's what I was thinking in this game yesterday. With Odegaard looks good, right? And Odegaard's moving well. I think I would almost mark Odegaard down as the first goal scorer on the weekend here when we play Fulham. He looks ready to get back into amongst the goals. He got the penalty at West Ham that was given to him, because they're sharing penalties around. But there was one instance where he's looking at Trossard and he's freaking out on Trossard because he couldn't find the right pass for him as he was herring into the box. There was another instance where Odegaard shuffles and he takes a shot and it gets blocked by, I think, Mazraoui. So, I think Tony Odegaard looked really, really bright yesterday against Manchester United.
Yeah, I mean, I think they allowed whatever issue he had a lot of time to heal. Because originally he was supposed to be back after the October international break. Then shortly before the October break, then it was, he's going to be back right after the November one, which for us is a perfect time for him to be coming back because you're playing 3 times a week, basically. And that's going to continue into February this year. So it's like an extra long festive period because there's just so many games cramped up because you got all these international breaks. But that's a different story for another day. But
a different story for another day.
But he must have been like either training somewhere else or doing solo training at Arsenal because he definitely looks fit. He looks game fit. And then it also looks like he would. I mean, I know he reads the game well. So does Trossard. Saka's getting there, but it seems like he's been picking out better passes and stuff than he was earlier in the season. So it's nice to see him come back, hit the ground running, and hopefully he actually had proper time to let something heal. I mean, you have Timber and some of these other players where Arteta just like brings them back when they're not ready. Just let them set out that extra week. You got the players to come out there. When Jorginho went out there, we looked stable. We looked better in the middle. There's enough that you can make give a guy an extra week of rest after an injury. And it's better in the end. So I would look at the long term health instead of picking up 3 points that you think you need this player for.
Well, I don't know. I think Odegaard personally, through his injuries, had enough rest. He's come back strong, and it's almost like we have a player who's just come preseason now, through preseason, and he's getting stronger and stronger for us. I understand what you're saying Tony, but I just think he's had a lot of time away from football, and he's getting back into rhythm now. Martin Odegaard is.
I don't know. To me, just like I said, it looks like he had been training or doing something because that doesn't to me look like he's really missed the beat.
Yeah, I mean, he could have been doing light training on that ankle until it was ready for, competition at the highest level. Alonso, what are your thoughts on Martin Odegaard? I don't know, Alonso, if you can hear me or not. No, Alonso's having some issues with his PC right now. Gary?
Yeah,
Did you already talk about Martin Odegaard or no?
No, I haven't talked about him.
Yeah.
No, I mean I think he's played the last 3 matches, I believe.
Yeah.
So
And
or last 4 maybe. But no, I think he might be doing a lot of football stuff, but he's been gradually getting to the point where he can be part of the press. I mean, he was more in the press yesterday than he was in previous games. So that to me shows that he's getting into some good form there. So yeah, because I think the first game or second game that he played, he was further back on the press. So and it looked like he was tiring. So now this last game he was up there with Havertz in terms of the press. Not leading it yet. I don't think I've seen him up top putting as much pressure on the goalkeeper and the back line as he was when he was before he got injured and stuff like that. So it's not 100% back, but he's there, and Havertz is good is pressing along with him. So yeah, he'll get. I think it's just going to be a gradual thing for him. I'm getting back into this thing with all these games we're going to have, so. I think he'll be fine, and we're definitely better with him there. I don't like the fact that we're so dependent on him, but that's the kind of way it is. That's the way it's going to be, I guess, right now. Our defense's structure looks better with him in there, and hopefully that trickles into maybe offensive attack getting just as better, just as good with him there as well, because that needs to pick up as well. I know we scored what? We scored what's it? 15 goals in the last 4 games. So that's not bad. But I mean, the 2 headers is good, but we need some open play goals as well in that game as well.
Yeah.
So, like I said, I think we need to all aspects of goal scoring. We need to be able to hit every game. Like I said, 2-goal lead, I'll take it. So
what I liked, Gary and Tony. What I liked about this performance is when we go in and 0-0, and the team comes out and finds a way to figure it out, finds a way to win in the end comprehensively. And we have right in the last 10 or 15 minutes, we have Manchester United players scared of their own shadows, Tony, because they don't know how to pick up, how to mark. Are they going to zonally mark? Are they going to man mark? And they're losing their players everywhere as they're running towards the front post.
Yeah, it's. I think it happens to them because they only have a certain amount of talent, certain amount of depth, and those teams start fading later on. It's nice that we finally gave something more in the second half. I know we've done it the last few games, but it was something that was cost us several points just by very lax shutting it off. We went more defensive in those games, but we were allowing more goals. But I think, like I said, I just don't think they have enough talent. They're still trying to switch things over. It hasn't been that long since their manager changed, and I was ask Gary where was Kai's positioning compared to the last game? Was he hugging that right line as much as last time, or because I missed the first half because Going for my retina
He's
injections.
right in the middle, essentially just off to the left a little bit, but pretty much right there and above, between the circle at the top of the 18. He was right. He wasn't that close. Saka, of course, was the deepest player. I still feel he needs to be up there with Saka at the least, in terms of positioning. But no, he was closer to the middle of the pitch, but still, right next to Erdogan, essentially.
Yeah.
They're pretty much right next to each other. So I kind of felt like his spacing needs to be better, and at the least needs to be further up, close, in line with Saka. I mean, I think that also hurts how much he has to be defensively sound. That he's never in position. All right, when Saka gets the ball, he's probably coming from a deeper location on the pitch. So I think he still needs to move up a little bit more. Saka should be able to, like, the balls that come to Saka are not like fast passes or anything like that. They come from deep usually, so he should be booking it to get into that position, and he's not.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
So I think that's why I think he doesn't get as much service because he's never there. Like, as many crosses Saka puts in, you're like, where's our center forward? He's not there.
Alonzo Michael might really like this response I have to Gary. If you take it in the wrestling sense, it doesn't matter what you think, Gary. It doesn't matter. Do you know why it doesn't matter? Because you're not Arteta. We had lots.
Why are we talking then? You said. What do you mean? You talk about everything that has to do with the manager. What are you talking about? Stop. No. I can say whatever I want.
You mentioned it like 10. You mentioned it 10 times about him being more forward.
Is this
I'm
going to keep saying it. And you actually asked where he was positioned. So you start this thing, and then you want to start making fun of the answer.
No,
you asked for it. You asked for it,
did.
and then you want to make fun. No, I'm not answering your questions anymore.
I just asked if there's.
No, you ask a question, I give you an answer. You don't like it, you start making fun. Not answering your questions anymore.
It's part of your Padawan training, Gary.
I don't know. No, I'm not. I don't know what that means because you're looking up to me.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter because Arteta.
It doesn't matter.
That's why it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. That's why we want it. That's why we want a striker. We want a striker who's more nimble. They can actually get in position when we put the ball in and when we put the crosses in. We want a striker who's there when, guess what? Our wings turn to the inside, and look, he should be there. He should be coming in just as they make that turn. Then he's not there. Yeah. That's why we want somebody different.
Minus those 4 or 5 games where we went to a 4-4-2. We don't play with strikers as strikers. You put Jesus out there in the middle.
Harris is not a striker, right? We figured this out, right? We said he's not a striker. That's why we need to get one.
He's not a midfielder.
I think he's a striker.
He's not a striker like Isaac, like Gyökeres, like Sesko. Like
you're looking at the scoring charts right now.
I'm not looking at anything. I'm looking right at you. No, he's not a striker.
We kept asking for this, Gary. We kept asking for a tall, powerful striker, and now you have it. He might use his head. He might not use his feet, but he gives you what Oliver Giroud did. Giroud got us 28 headers. He might have not been that good with his feet, but you need that balance.
The guy that's scoring with the scorpion kicks is not good with his feet. All right. He didn't just score with his head.
Yeah, there's some discussion in the chat box. It's been lively tonight. But Ahmad has made it lively, I think, in the chat box, and Mr. Tom bringing his own leads. United brand of humor as well. But they're saying, Arsenal are not in this race. I believe Arsenal are every bit in this race, and it will be seen in the course of the season. There's still 24 games to go, 2/3 of the league to go, and when we get down to the last 5 or 6 games, that's when will tell as well. It's a little bit worrying that maybe Manchester City have found their groove again. They beat Nottingham Forest as well, 3-0. I don't know why they didn't bring Kevin De Bruyne and Grealish and Doku to Anfield to play, But it looks like Kevin De Bruyne had a good night last night, and you always have to be wary of Man City a little bit, but Arsenal are firmly in this race as well. One thing I wanted to say to Alonso, are you with us? Can you hear me? Yeah. Okay. I mentioned it earlier to Gary and Tony. We're not a one-man team. We have many, many ways in which we can score goals. We can get clean sheets, so we can defend. We're not relying solely on one person, although it was sorely tested a few months back with Odegaard. You look at Liverpool, it's Mo Salah. You look at Man City, it's maybe Haaland or Rodri. But that's the big difference between us and the other two teams. And that could be the winning difference at the end of the day as well, at the end of this season.
Yeah, but I think to say that Liverpool and Manchester City can depend on players as well. They have talent in other areas, but it's a matter of how those particular clubs use them, as City and Liverpool do. And, with Arsenal, we're very lucky that we have talented wingers and, Kai Havertz that could score and also assist. So I think he brings you what you want out of your number 9 right now. Now, whether we get those players in January is a ranky team. However, you get the Partey scoring as well, and Hazard scoring at times whenever he feels like it seems like. So it's more than just Saka, Martinelli, or Havertz or Odegaard scoring. I'm sure Odegaard will get his shooting boots very shortly. But yeah, it's quite impressive that Partey has joined the mix. Was last if he wasn't so much attacking balls so much. And last also, but yeah, it's good to see center back scoring and also our right back scoring as well. So yeah, we're not just one dimensional as we used to be, where we had to give him too much on Saka to make things happen, and he had to, and had to Odegaard. So it kind of tells you that Odegaard maybe not a talented player, but he's one of the best players we have at Arsenal.
Yeah. Tony?
Houston would have a problem. It sounds like your microphone might not be securely attached. Lots of static there, Alonzo, but I just wanted to say Houston, we have a problem.
Right.
Pun firmly intended, I had Tony speak a little bit like that to that about the Mo Salah. If he misses 5 or 6 games, Liverpool are going to drop off. Haaland, if he misses a few games, Man City will drop off. Maybe Palmer with Chelsea is that kind of player as well.
Yeah, it's true. It's true that all of them. We seen it with Odegaard. We were terrible without him. It's why in this winter window we should still see if there's some type of attacking midfielder available. I mean, you would figure Kai would be able to do that, but he can't. He's just not good in the midfield. But I mean, all these teams they suffer from a lot of these key injuries, especially now, City with Holland, since you don't have Rodri for the rest of the season. If Holland goes out, then you're even more screwed because, I mean, he's on fire as far as goals that he scored this season. Last time I checked was 15. I'm sure he has more than that now, but that's a lot. 12, 12 games into the season.
Yeah. So Gary, what's your read on it now as you see the title race? Liverpool 7 points in the lead. They haven't gone beyond that 9-point threshold. They haven't gone past 10 points. It was looking a little bit dodgy there for a second with them leading at Newcastle, and almost at that point of where you're thinking, are they ever going to drop any points? And then it happened. The football gods smiled upon us.
Yeah. No, I mean, we knew Isaac has it in him, and Newcastle on their day has not looked as good as we thought they might look this season, right? So, some people even said that Newcastle is they deserve at least the draw, right? So they you score 3 goals on them. I think based on their defensive prowess, right? They've been pretty good defensively. Don't know where if that moves us up a little bit closer to them in goals scored, but
getting closer.
The 3 goals they gave up, right? I mean, that's they were, I guess, 8 before this game.
Yeah,
so,
8. So that's conceded 11 now.
Yeah. So
half of the goals that conceded came against us and Newcastle.
Yeah.
5 of those 10, 5 of those 11 goals.
Yeah. So like I said, I didn't think they were going to lose that first game without Konate, but I think you saw what happened in this last game, right?
Yeah.
So there you go. So maybe that their defensive presence won't might be felt much in these games going forward. I mean, next up is Everton, who just has played pretty well of late, right?
Yes.
I mean, they
beat
up on Wolves.
Wolverhampton Wanderers at home.
Yeah.
4-0. They were beaten by Manchester United 4-0.
So they've been on both sides of a four goal clean sheet. So, but
so we can only hope that Everton will give Liverpool a tough game in what is going to be the last Merseyside derby at Goodison Park, because they're.
So somebody was saying that their new stadium,
Tom's still here, right?
Their new
Tom
stadium
loves Everton.
Yeah, I heard that their new stadium is flooding. So they're probably just so it's a good time to move in.
Yeah. They're down by the river there, aren't they, on the Mersey? And I know Mr. Tom really likes it when people talk about Everton. So, yeah, there you go. Let's hope Everton can continue their good form against Wolves and get something against Liverpool at the weekend. Alonso said he's reporting on why Tony thinks that Arsenal play 3 at the back. You will see.
Arsenal played 2 at the back because you got both your fullbacks attacking, so you just got 2 center backs back there. So
he's too easy.
You better check your source next time, Alonso.
Boss said, yesterday Alexander Zinchenko inverted Alonso and Timber stayed right back when Calafiori and Timber was inverting and getting forward more. So, listen, I think we're.
Can we drop that freaking term? You
No, we're going to use it more and more now.
You're a wing back. It doesn't matter if you're
Invert.
Inside or outside.
Invertebrate.
Inside, outside. You're attacking from the fullback position, which makes you a wingback.
Tony, you have become an extra invert. There you go. See what I did there? So, Gary, if you want to annoy Tony, want to
Your
annoy
pun
Tony,
wasn't that.
use the
Your
term
pun, your
inverting
pun was.
fullback. Inverting fullback. If you ever want to annoy Tony.
I like Gary having about that term. So
The
Gary
way,
And
the way,
three at the back.
the way Tony you force it back.
All these lower
Yeah.
half clubs we play like yesterday, sitting back so much, we go three at the back always, basically. Yeah, because of the inverting fullback. I mean, I think we should go for a record amount of times of saying inverting tonight. You know what I mean? Because Tony will go crazy. Last Merseyside derby at Goodison, Everton will go for it. I think so. And they're playing at home, Alonso.
Yeah, right. So didn't Everton beat Liverpool like last year in the season?
Yes. Last
Right.
season
So,
they beat them 2-0 as well. But,
if Everton beat Liverpool again, like you said, listen, I hope that Everton show up. They haven't impressed me much the past two seasons with just getting through the getting that regulation thing. So, for me, they need a big fun this year. Since Harper was there, I kind of had a soft spot for Everton because he's American born goalkeeper and all that. But I kind of used to want Everton to go down. So hopefully they can prove me wrong this year by staying up for a change, and hopefully Everton show up this time as we last year.
and Tiger said Toffees will beat Liverpool. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting weekend coming up as well, Gary. When Liverpool go to Everton, Arsenal go to Fulham, and so we're hoping that the continuation of the effort of closing the gap down from 7 points will be realized.
Yep. Well, like I said, I don't care about anybody else just yet. Let's get our win, and then we'll see how everything lays out afterwards. It would be nice. It would be nice if they don't.
Right.
You want to talk about whatever nonsense you're about to say.
You keep talking.
I don't hesitate for you. I try to finish. You don't let me finish a sentence.
He's letting you know. He's letting, and then you'll start, and then he'll interrupt. All right. Try it, Gary.
Do what you got to say.
I was tell Ray he better go have his. Sorry, too much cookie in the mouth. Ray needs to make sure that he has his weatherman out there to make sure weather will not won't cost us points, because
I haven't mentioned weather in years.
You started in the fucking rain this show. What are you talking about? Years.
All right.
It hasn't even been an hour yet, right?
You guys keep talking for a second, and I'll check the weather in London for Saturday. Okay.
It's gonna rain.
Please,
it's just gonna rain. Don't worry about it. Whatever daytime, whatever.
Is that what you're saying, Gary?
Yeah, it's gonna rain. So there you go.
Just saying that.
Game's on Sunday, right?
It's what?
On Sunday, the game.
What did you? No, what was the question? Sorry.
Sunday, the game.
Saturday. When is the game? It's on Saturday.
Sunday.
Is it on Sunday?
Yeah, Sunday at 9 a.m. for us.
Okay. It is on Sunday. Yep, 9 a.m. Okay. So I got to check the weather at 9 a.m. our time, right, for London.
It's going to be raining. Don't worry about it. Midday showers, all right? This is...
Oh. Are you really saying that?
I don't care. It doesn't matter if it rains or not.
No, Tony seems to think it's a thing. You know what I mean?
Every time Arsenal drop points, Ray mentions the weather.
They didn't drop points in Cincinnati, Tony.
I thought it was raining as in the West Ham game too, so
it's gonna rain on
it doesn't
Sunday.
matter if it rains.
Yeah,
You
it's
just have to
gonna
go out
rain
there
on
and get the
Sunday.
points.
Tony.
Oh no, it's gonna rain in London. Imagine that. What?
It's crazy. 20% chance of rain.
Rain
All
in
right.
London.
You're a funny guy, Tony.
Gary, who are we gonna put forward for your Tony Don Juan man of the match?
Oof. In that
From
game.
yesterday. From that game.
Pick I'm gonna
This will be
say
interesting.
I'm gonna say it's one of our midfielders. I'm gonna go. I think I'm gonna go with Erdegaard. I think like one keeping everything together, but also some of the movement he was getting. I mean, Rice did really well too, and I think Rice is the reason why we didn't fare much on that left hand side. So him and Partey. I mean, just like I said, any one of the midfielders could have got it. I'm gonna go with Erdegaard just because he's essential to everything that we do.
Odegaard. Okay.
So yeah.
Declan Rice always looks tired lately. I think he's just enjoying his football, enjoying the game, and he was out there enjoying Boston and against Manchester United. Alonso, who are you picking for your man in the match?
I'm gonna go with Waka Waka himself, Kai Havertz.
Kai Havertz. All right. The number 9.
Listen,
Need your number 9 up front doing number 9 things, right?
I'm going with Rice. I think he performed very well today. He's proven to be, I guess, one of the best corner takers. Seems like I think he has it going on. I think that's his strong suit. But I think he's come a long way from taking those corner kicks and being bit on with them. I think his ball. I think his corner kicking skills have been really really great, I guess. It's one of his strong points in his game, I guess. Exceptional. There you go.
All right, we got one for Kai Havertz and Gary. I think picked Odegaard.
It doesn't Rice, right?
Who? Declan Rice?
Yeah.
I went for Rice. Okay. All right. Who is the Don Juan? What is the Don Juan, Tony? What does that mean?
It means the man that has the most influence on the game. He's the Don Juan. He's the man everybody wants to be.
The Don Juan. Okay. I think I'll go along on second Gary's choice of Odegaard. Just so we can get a vote in here. Tony, who are you picking?
I'm picking Odegaard, as Sam first taught me. You say gourd, like a pumpkin's a gourd, all those weird squashes, all that stuff. Alonzo knows all the gourds. He's a produce man. But it's Odegaard. What?
Odegaard. It's Odegaard, not Odegaard. Odegaard.
Did you ever think, Tony, that the teacher of that name, whoever thought you that, might be incorrect?
I can't.
No.
Sam was teasing you guys, know that, right?
Yeah. Stan's like, ha ha ha. I did that. Stan's like, I did that. Timber, Saliba, and Rice busted, said Moss. Here we go. What else we got? All right. Gary, anything else to add to that performance, or did we miss anything?
No, outside of maybe getting Wary into the game, that's really. But I'm gonna keep asking. I think he needs to get more minutes even with Martin there, I think he needs to get more minutes. I mean, we need like something different. I know if we can't open teams up with an open play and we can't get set pieces, I know he can bring something else to the table. So other than that, we took what they gave us. They didn't give us much, but because they played pretty solid defensively as a squad, as a team. But we're gonna have to be able to figure out, like Arteta's got to figure out how to break down teams, because first it was low block, and now we've seen if they put more people in the midfield to kind of push us out, we can't get anything there. But Arteta's gonna have to have some answers for all of that stuff. That's his job.
Yeah, long balls and through balls.
And I do believe the players in the last 3 games have known what the stakes have been in recent weeks because of. I'm going to say it again. Liverpool gone out into a lead, but they've won games that they won last year. It's just, for me, it's just a weird circumstance of the league table presenting games at Anfield to them on a plate.
What about us having 12 or 13 games in London? You probably don't even need to fill the bus.
Yeah, but do you know the difference?
For the next 6 weeks.
Well, Tony, you know the difference between that? Those key games that we played have been away from home against the better teams we played away from home, whereas Liverpool against the better teams have played at Anfield.
You play everybody twice, right? So
I know, and the fruit. I mean, the pie. What do you call it? The pie. It'll come out in the pie crust or something like that, right? What's the phrase?
I mean,
eating of the pie.
I don't recall having a weird oddity like this where you have 12 of your 13 games in the.
You don't think it matters? You don't think it matters where you play, if you play home or away?
I don't think it matters that much. It's all about talent.
I think it's pretty obvious, Tony, when you see Liverpool playing away from home at Arsenal and Newcastle, and they can't get wins.
You've seen us the previous 2 seasons, not as much this season, but we were fantastic on the road. So I don't think it matters much.
The proof is in the pudding, said Rosie. Proof is in the pudding. There you go. That's kind of what
I mean, we figured this out when you didn't have any fans in the stadium. You go to these places, and that doesn't matter. It's all about your game plan.
And at the pies and puddings, you know. Apparently, Ten Hag is going to go back to United. Yeah, it is all about the game plan. So there you go. All right, Alonso, we'll give you a chance to give us your final thoughts, and we'll get out of here. Thanks everybody for watching so far.
Yeah, those every game, and Fulham always gives a hard time. Well, not always, but they turn up sometimes, and they're playing pretty good. I think they're exceeding expectations. So, if I were Arsenal, I'd be cautious. I think, Emil Phil has something to prove. And I know that he'll be playing well. We'll try to want to play well against his old team.
Yeah.
I wish he didn't leave, but I get it for both, club and himself. And it's good to see him do well at Fulham. But I hope that Arsenal, of course, win. Yeah, I think it'll be a close game that most people expect. So I know they have it in them to win. And I think it'll be maybe 3-2.
You're predicting a 3-2 win?
Yeah.
3-2 at the Cottage. That'll be an entertaining game on Sunday morning. Tony?
I'm confident that I tricked you I got you to do the midweek game, and guess what? I passed your ass up, Ray. And Alonso's in third.
You
by the
passed.
way.
Oh yeah, okay. You went. Yeah, okay. You're into first place now. Yeah, indeed.
I'm sitting there in sixth gear, Ray, just driving the shit out of that car. Waving to you in my rear view mirror.
Wow.
Bye bye, Ray.
Stan got the most points this week with 6. Gary, Alonso, and Sam picked Newcastle. Good pick. You got the 3-3. You got a draw. You got 5 points. And Tony got 4 for Aston Villa. Wrapping up Unai Emery right there, Tony. Tom continues to pick long shots. Southampton and Ipswich are, Tom continues to pick those. I don't know what his strategy is. But
It's better than what Stan used to do with short shots. He would pick those games where there are only 1 or 2 points separating the teams, and you're not knowing when you're.
I decided to give all of you a chance by not picking this week, so that you could catch up to me. And Tony did.
Can you do it for? Can you do it for 3 more weeks? So me and you.
The thing is, I don't remember the times that I do it. You remember everything. That's the difference, Tony.
I would say you can hold out the next 3 games so we can be on equal footing, but that's kind of hard to do. Hard for us to be on equal footing.
Well, anything else to say, Tony? Arsenal related?
It's a good time to get as many points as you can. So hopefully, after you come out of a holiday fixtures, hopefully we're still not trailing Liverpool by 7 points. Hopefully it's less.
Right, no picks are your competition. Yeah, it's my competition, but I'm being fair. If I didn't get a pick in and on time, I didn't get a pick in time.
But we never know, right?
I think get picked in time too.
You have to believe in my integrity, Tony.
The guy that does South first part. Come on.
He's like a ball, and all you have to do is wave a red rag at him. Tiger said 2-1 to Arsenal. I'll go 3-1. I think we're in form. We're scoring. And I will take Odegaard to score first in a 3-1 win at the Craven Cottage. Thanks, Tony. Thanks, Alonso. Gary?
Ray.
Yeah.
Bulls don't see red.
Bulls do.
No, they don't.
Okay.
We're one of the few.
What about cows? Do cows see red?
They don't see red. It's like greens and yellows. They don't have the red cones. Do you know why we have red cones, Ray?
Because we invert.
It's the extrovert, because you get turned on and your cheeks get red. That's why we see red.
All right, very good, very good.
Because of arousal.
Look at that, you're being validated there by Rosie. That's correct. They do not see red. Yeah. Tony's, he's like that clock, right? A broken clock is right twice a day. You know what I mean? And once on Sunday. Gary, take us out of here. You get the final say. I wasn't going to give the final say to Tony. We'll be here all night.
No. Arsenal need. I'm looking for a 3-0 win. We need to at least get 3 goals in a game. So why not this one? So yeah, they've been feeling probably good about themselves, but it's time now to bring them back to earth. So yeah. Let's it should be a big game for us. Hopefully, I think we might get a couple of people back. at least to get more minutes into, allow them to get some more minutes in. So yeah, that's how I think it. That's what I'm looking forward to seeing. If we hope we get into a groove, we've been really good. I don't want to get have a 1-goal game. I think that would be telling, not in a good way. So yeah, come on, Arsenal, let's get another 3 points and a good performance.
3 for 3 wins in a row and 3 points. 4 for a win at Fulham, 4 wins in a row. The players know that they need to do this. They've been tracking behind what they need for 90 points. We're about 5 points off where we need to be to track for 90 points.
I seen that you have your little table back this week.
My table is always there. The table is always set, Tony.
But you were describing me, Ray. I'm one of those guys. Academy Award speeches. They don't care if the band's playing. They're playing that music. Then eventually they cut their mics. They cut their mics now.
Oh, okay, like this. Or you're being muted. Is that what you mean? All right. Listen, we'll get out of here. Gary, thanks for being here tonight as well. Tony, Alonso, this is a good one tonight. We enjoy it every time Arsenal win and our opposing teams have misfortune, such as Tottenham at Bournemouth. Yeah, we can still laugh, right, about that. Okay, take care, everyone. We'll see you the weekend. Cheers. Bye.